Greetings, I'm Manuel Scortichini and I'm a research fellow from the University of Camerino in this little city in the center of Italy. And I will share with you today a part of my doctoral research that I finished last year. I want to start by setting the scenario. In the contemporary, we are living a great revolution about the using of data that we call it the dataism. So data is new oil and profoundly change every sector and field of our society. And in the field of museum, we are currently using data, especially with CMS, software for management and control artwork and ticket and so on. But comparing with other fields, I feel that we have a lot of potential to express that is unexpressed today. And my research discussion will talk about visitor studies in museum science. And if you're looking to the past about when this museum and data relation started, we can see that 1 century ago, Arthur Melton started one of the first quantitative and qualitative analysis inside museum, where he started to analyze flow of visitors in order to define metrics for understand how people spend their time inside the exhibition or where they move, and define these metrics called attraction power, holding power, and sweep rate that are still influential. Another really well-known research from last century was the one made by Véron et Lavoisier called Ethnographie de l'exposition, when the two researchers defined great studies in field, and they discovered that we can summarize different visit approach to exhibition by 4 main patterns. And they used this metaphor of animal, like ant visiting style, fishing visitor style, butterfly visitor style, like grasshopper visitor style, related to this approach of movement inside the exhibition. In 1997, Beverly Cyril, a researcher from US, pushed forward this approach and made this scattergram model that combine 87 exhibition around science center, scientific museum, zoo, and he matched percentage of diligent visitors and sweep rate in order to understand by a data-driven approach different way of visitor explore this exhibition. More recently, in 2016, MIT research group made the same work, but by using contemporary technology like ultra-wideband and air feed inside the Louvre Museum Gallery. And today, the state of art is that we have application like the Exhibit. It's a New Zealand founded company that analyze and create this heat map of visitor flow inside the museum, and extract statistics, real time, movement pattern. But this approach is still related to improve revenue and to control the management of the exhibit. And my idea, the topic of this discussion is to how we can move forward to this perspective and how we can create something else. One example I discovered was during the COVID pandemic. I was working on my PhD in this museum. It was Museum 9 in Mestre, an ethnographic museum that applied this interactive technology called EMA tracking by RNB for Culture startup. And this was a great example of resilience, because during the pandemic, museum had this struggle to deal with visitor flow and maintain social distances. So thanks to this technology, it was possible for museum management to have control of the exhibit space and guarantee social distances by haptic feedback, by this smart necklace. So my question was, how can, as a designer and academic, think and try to define new perspective, from a museology perspective? So we have curatorial opportunity with this huge revolution of technology and control of data-driven in museum. What happens if we use this data for a new narrative? And I selected some case studies that give a suggestion and a possibly way to explore. In 2022, in Maxi, we had this wonderful exhibition called What a Wonderful World. It was an exhibition of contemporary art. And what impressed me a lot was this artwork called the Digital Relational Ecosystem. It was made by her. She Loves Data. It's a collective of researchers and artists in Rome. And they asked to visitors to move sliders and respond to questions about what do you think about the artwork and other impressions like that. And this interaction created a data visualization that was dynamic and created like a mirror of a visitor itself and also of a dynamic organism of visitors. And this inspired me a lot, because I think we should move through this kind of narrative, use data visualization and data by visitor in order to create new story, and in order to include also visitor in the narrative of museum. Go through the museum as a plaza, then a museum as a temple, as was in the past. Another example comes from the Copyright Smithsonian Design Museum in New York. They created this wonderful interactive pen that consents to the visitor to check and select artwork during the exhibition in order to create this own curatorial selection of artwork. And this also have the opportunity to create a playlist of artwork and establish a never-ending story, a long dialogue, not only with the visitor during the visit, but also pre and after the visit. And also, another point that I think could be useful to express is use those data in order to engage visitors to express their own opinion. During the last century, we had this approach with science that was completely top-down and divided by pedagogical and experiential approach. But today, accordingly, also with Erminia Pedretti, Science Museum and Science Center are dealing with science in a more mature way, because we need to approach it with different perspective and to also involve visitors in open discussion about science, and not something that is only top-down and linear. And I think also this idea to use data could be useful to facilitate this dialogue. Another point is go through a tailor-made experience. Use data could push interactive exhibit to a future where you don't need a trigger. Your movement in space is a way to trigger exhibition. And exhibition, like label, are interactive and responsive to your necessity. If you are impaired and you have a visual impairment or audio impairment, interactive label could be shaped to your necessity. or to your taxonomy. And I think this could be the next future in museum. But I want to end with a reflection. What is common for us is a use of data that is extractive, that is made by a huge company, and it's a black box for us. We don't know the algorithm behind it. We don't know who will use our data. And it's important for an institution like museum to ground this new approach with data by fundamental of trust and transparency, because it's with the artwork and the people work inside the museum, I think trustability is the main value of institution museum in a chaotic moment like the contemporary is. Thank you for your attention.